Alright, so this is part 2 of the video. I'm sorry I had to switch off the video because otherwise it turns off itself. But it's part 2 of my discussion of Snyder and Goya doing a Batman-Superman movie. A movie that, as a comic fan, I have wanted to see for a long time. But I don't want to see it like this. I personally just don't want to see it like this. Okay, so let's go through quickly. Now, I've obviously just given like some background of how I feel about Goya and Snyder, and where Snyder's talents are best kept. And I have to say, Goya, I think he's had a good run, but he needs to let other talent kind of, you know, look at maybe Batman, or like some fresh eyes on the character. I don't think it's a good idea for Goya to be doing, he'd lost it by the end. He'd really lost it. So anyway, we went through that. Now to get into the kind of nitty gritty of this, what's really like the problem. Okay, so we had a Superman movie which, broadly speaking, was fairly entertaining, and from a critical standpoint it was not a good movie. Personally, from a critical standpoint, if you were going to be like straight up objective about it, as a film it's not a very good movie. It's almost throwaway. It is, in terms of a comic book movie, alright. I mean, I thought the critics were a tad bit hard on it. I had it for, when I did my vid and I gave it, I did a full vid, I gave it 75%. I was looking at it from the point of how critics had scored other comic book movies like Thor and Iron Man and all of these things. So I was saying they're like hypocrites, or Avengers and stuff like that. I was saying they're hypocrites because actually, in relation to those films, like Man of Steel is a lot better. Having said that, those films, like, I honestly feel like, even though those films had less it's like they had a less interesting central character, like Thor or something like that. The mythology, for me, is less interesting than Superman's. I think Superman's reflect our times a lot more, in a lot more interesting ways. But actually, you don't feel like, oh my god, I've got to take whoever directed and wrote Thor back to film school, like 101, don't do that. I feel like the guys behind Dark Knight Rises and Man of Steel, it's like you could take those guys to film school. You could be like, dude, like you've literally made like mistakes that are just they're sophomoric. They're absolutely first year. As you watch the film, like as I said, I haven't been able to sit through the whole film again. It doesn't grow on you. It doesn't get better. It gets worse on each viewing. Like, it gets like worse. You don't get more. You just get, or you do get more, but you just get more. Like, wow, they really didn't nail this character. Like, on so many levels. Like, even some of the critiques that I was dismissing before, I have to say, like, people have a point. Like, the last action scene, my view was that basically the city was evacuated. Like, Superman wasn't killing people when he was smashing through the buildings, although he's causing a hell of a lot of property damage. Um, you know, basically my justification was the city had been evacuated. But why didn't they show that? You know, did Zack Snyder character, and the whole thing you're like propping up is about this cat being like a Jesus-like hope savior figure, and he only saves Lois Lane in the movie. Like, you know, you have to see it. Something. It's a visual medium. You know, film's a visual medium. Okay, so he saved some people on the oil rig and whatever, but that was all out of context and messed up and muddled up in the beginning anyway. So the way they portrayed that had no emotional weight to it. The whole payoff was the end of the film, and not one time does he try and save anybody from fucking Zod. Not one time. And there was nothing in that film, you know, like in terms of the characterization of Clark Kent. There was nothing for you to think, why is this guy like wanting to save people or help people? Every human being I see is just bullying him and being nasty to him and being cruel, and he is sullen and he is withdrawn and he is angry. Why does he want to help people? Why does he want to help people? You'd think a guy like him would be like, well, you know, good or bad guy, he's gonna change the world. I think I'd choose bad if, you know, if I had that kind of power and people were just calling me a dick splash and bullying me, and I was sullen and withdrawn and like an emo kid, then I would probably just end up taking over the world if people were like, alright, well fuck you then. And that's how they portrayed Superman. It made no sense. There was no organic, you know, and Pa Kent, what were Pa Kent's lessons? Be scared of the world. And half the reason I forgave all of this, you know, this inconsistency is because I thought, okay, they're going to have space to develop this in a second movie. They're going to have space to develop this in a second movie, like Superman deserves, because he's a very, very interesting character. You know, so alright, I'll allow for all this because they've got time to explore this world and maybe how he reacts to all of this destruction. I know that wasn't their plan, but at least they would have been able to see from the critiques, like, geez, guys, you know, next time you do an action scene, like, have Superman save some people. And he has to reflect upon this destruction. You can't just ignore the fact that he destroyed half of Metropolis. This can be part of our real world telling of Superman. Let's incorporate this. Let's learn from our experience of what people have criticized about this movie. And there was space to still make Superman good. Henry Cavill was excellent as Superman. You know, I think Lois Lane, you know, Amy Adams, poorly written character, but she definitely can pull it off. You could see she could pull it off, and she's a fantastic actress, so there's no reason why she can't pull it off. I've seen her in many films and she's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. She can pull off anything, so there's no reason she can't pull off Lois Lane. You know, the rest of the cast were pretty good, so you know, you had a good setup there for an ex-Superman. And what happens? What do they do once again? They can't leave this fucking guy alone. Like, leave Batman. He's tired. Didn't you see the last movie? The guy can't even walk anymore. You know, he's gone off. He wants to go on holiday. Even he was tired. He wanted to fuck off. He was, you know, leave the guy alone. Why does he have to come into a Superman fucking movie in the second movie? It doesn't generate any of the kind of excitement, or, you know, okay, fine, they're doing a Batman and Superman movie from a team that can't even get a Superman movie right, and now they're trying to introduce us to not even the old Batman, a new Batman, a fucking brand new Batman, and it's been angering me so much because I just need to, it's burning, because none of my mates are like comic fans, so I can't even really talk to them about how frustrating this is. It is just absolutely fucking horrendously stupid for them to give a team that, like, clearly, I think, almost fucked up a Superman movie by itself, to not only have the task of putting a Batman and Superman movie together, but also have the task of introducing a new, very, very complex character into a film, which is having them, oh my god, and even worse, because I can see Snyder just loving this Batman versus Superman. A Superman where there's not even kryptonite for Batman to rely on. So how the fuck is he gonna fight Superman? And if he was so competent that he thinks he can fight fucking Superman, why wasn't he in Metropolis? Why didn't, if this cat was there and he was a superhero, why wasn't he in Metropolis trying to help people against the fucking Kryptonians? If he's so badass that he can fight Superman. I mean, are they going to explain this? Are they going to tell us why are, you know, badass, Dark Knight, you know, fearless, you know, can take on anything, has a plan with it? He had more than enough prep time. Don't tell me he didn't have the prep time to face the Kryptonians. You so-called, like, you say Batman can take on anyone and you're going to be okay when he comes in and takes on a Superman who doesn't even have a fucking weakness. Apparently he's be Sigmund Freud Batman. Like, he's gonna have to, like, talk to him and say, you know, like, convince him how fucking fucked up he is. In any case, so back to the point. You know, like, why is this Batman? Why did this Batman, with the amount of prep time that he had, you know, from Zod's message to all of that time to deal with this fucking, you know, with these Kryptonians, he could have done something. He should have been, like, you know, like something. There should have been, like, it's fucking absolutely insane that they're going to bring in a Batman who cowardly, you know, stayed in the shadows while millions upon millions of people died. That is not a Batman I know. So why bring him into the universe like that? Why bring him into this universe like that? It does not make any fucking sense. Just leave Superman alone. Well, they're not doing that now, so there's no point in fucking, like, saying anything. But, like, okay, they're bringing Batman in, and Snyder is going to have to explain why this now cowardly Batman is suddenly going to, you know, decide he's going to, not only is he, you know, if it was a team-up movie, then I'll be like, okay, maybe there's some space here, but Snyder in a Batman versus Superman, it is going to be the most excessive destruction fucking porn I think we'll ever see. I honestly think it is going to be near an hour of senseless violence and chaos and destruction, with little or no real story or a character like a Batman that resembles our Batman. I mean, if Superman can destroy cities without, like, thinking about it, and no conscience whatsoever or remorse, like, really shown apart from one guttural scream, you know, after he snapped someone's neck, then imagine what Snyder's Batman is going to be. He's going to be completely unrecognizable, and he's going to fight Superman, and it's not even going to make sense, because you're like, how can Batman fight fucking Superman on a real level? When you really think about it, how can a Batman fight that Superman, the Superman in that movie, with no kryptonite, no red sun, nothing? What's he going to fucking do? He can't wear a machine or something like that. The guy fucking laser beamed his eyes through futuristic Kryptonian technology. What the fuck? He can't wear him at the suit of armor against the guy. The guy flew up through an anti-gravity machine and smashed through it, smashed through the fucking thing. It was an anti-gravity machine. Like it was creating a denser gravitational force on the guy, right? To create to the extent of a Kryptonian atmosphere. How the fuck is Batman gonna fight this guy? It's just gonna be absolutely ridiculous. And for what? For what? Yes, I wanted a Batman Superman movie. We all want a Batman Superman movie, but this is fucking up. Like, it's stupid. It's plain retarded. I don't see how anyone can be like excited about a Snyder, Batman Superman movie. It's just and with Goya writing and Goya and Snyder writing, I just can't see how you can be excited about it. Like, please, tell me in the messages why you're excited about this, because I really want to fucking know. I do not understand. I'm gonna do one more part to this actually.